So today I want to talk about three good ways and three bad ways that my parents had kind of influencing the way I budget now today, or how I handle my finances today. Um, so I'm gonna do one good and one bad. So one good was I would always see my dad carrying like a notebook, and he would always write his numbers down and put all his categories. And I didn't know what he was doing then when I was young, but as I got older, I realized he's budgeting. And so when I moved out, I started doing the same thing. I grabbed the notebook, started writing all my numbers down, like all my expenses and how much I made. And that's how I learned how to budget, was by watching him. But one bad thing was that he never actually sat down and taught me how to budget. And I kind of wish he did, but I guess parents don't really think about that. They think they kind of learn that in school, but we learned a little bit, but not that much. And so I kind of wish that he kind of sat down with me and showed me, like, okay, this is how you budget, this is how you do this. Um, but but I'm glad that I was able to pick up as much as I did just by watching him, because I was able to not go into debt myself just by watching him. So number two was by watching my mom. I learned by watching my mom, like how she worked. She was a stay-at-home mom, and we grew up poor, but she never let that hold us down. She always found a way of my dad was a pastor, and he also did construction to kind of supplement his income. He had children to raise. He had four kids at home. My three older sisters were already grown up and married and had kids of their own, but he had us four younger ones that were about a year apart, so he had us to support. And sometimes he didn't have enough at the end of the month. So my mom, what she would do, she would sell tamales. She'll make a big old batch of tamales, and she'll sell them to friends, family, people down the street. And that kind of showed me, like, she was a hardworking woman, and not only was she taking care of us at home, but she was also making sure that we had enough. If my dad couldn't bring in enough, she would make sure that we had enough. And she would also do like barbecue plates and sell plates of food, because that's all she was able to do, because she was a stay-at-home mom with four young kids. So one thing she had control over was she was able to cook. So she sold her food, and that's something I learned from her. So when times got tough for us, for my husband and I, once we were married, that's what I did. I sold tamales too. I made food, and I would sell it, or I'll pick up other side jobs like babysitting and stuff, like side hustles. And that's something what my mom showed me, was to work. So that's one thing I learned from my mom, was in order to bring extra income, to do side hustles, like never have an excuse for not being able to bring extra income. And that's something I learned from my mom. So one bad thing from that is that when we grew up poor, a lot of our clothes would come from black bags that people would donate clothes in, and we would pick out what we needed and then donate the rest. But when my parents got in a better financial situation and they started getting credit card offers, my mom opened several credit cards, and because she didn't want us to be living out of the black bags no more, she would buy us clothes from the store. And she accumulated a lot of credit card debt, and when she passed away, that kind of fell on my dad, because he was married and they still wanted their money. And so that's kind of a reason why I didn't get a credit card. I never owned a credit card by myself, but Dustin has had credit cards, and I was part of the reason why we kind of accumulated over $15,000 worth of credit card debt. But so I kind of associated credit cards as a bad thing, but at the same time, because we got a credit card from Dustin, and because I see my mom, buy stuff with a credit card after she was able to get a credit card, we just spent money like we deserved everything. So because we couldn't afford it then, and now we had a credit card, but now we couldn't afford it. So that's kind of a bad thing from that. And number three was my parents always taught us how to give. They would get collections of like food, shoes, and toys and stuff, and then we would go and give them out to people. My parents would have us hand it out to people, so that we can see others who are in a worse position than what we are. And that's a good thing in a way, because my mom always taught me how to give. She would literally come home just wrapped in a blanket because she literally gave all the clothes off her back. Sometimes she'll come home barefooted because she'll see a woman without shoes and she'll give the woman her shoes. Or a woman without clothes and she'll give the clothes literally off her back. And that's something that I admired from them, that they were always willing to give no matter their situation. But at the same time, something that I didn't learn was when to say no, when to say that you can't give. So sometimes Dustin and I would put others before ourselves and give to them without realizing we're not in that financial situation where we can give all that we want, that we would like to. So that's something that we slowly had to learn how to say no to. Like recently, my husband and I are not working. We're living off of our savings and what we have saved for our situation. If you haven't been watching, my husband got out of the military. We moved from Missouri to Colorado, and we're basically starting over. So that's something we had to learn how to say no to, because in the past we would buy my nieces their school clothes and school supplies when they would stay with us over the summer. And this year we had to finally say we can't help out that, like, we can't do that. And they understand. Our nieces, they see us budget, they watch my budget videos, and they completely understand. I sat down with them and told them, like, sweeties, we can't buy you guys school clothes like we have in the past because Aunt Sarah and Uncle Dustin are not working, so we can't just do that now. And they completely understand. But I kind of wish my parents would have told us that it's good to give, but also remember to take care of yourself too, and not put yourself in a financial stress because you're not financially able to give all the time. So those are my 3 good and my 3 bad. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Bye. The one day I decide to film, there's this big old truck going up and down my alley. Yep. I don't know what they're doing. I think they're like, I don't know what they're doing. But it already gone up and down twice. So, yep.